This is Loot River. I got it on Game Pass. I've got the vague impression that it's some kind of top-down exploration game that involves manipulating platforms that you're on or something. I've got a very vague sense of what this game is supposed to be about, but that's because I haven't tried it yet. So let's do that, and we will solve all of our ignorance problems at once. All right, new game. Enter your name. Ooh, fancy. I mean, I guess I'll just stick my gamer tag in there. Rangu Tang. There we go. Let's start. You can tell this game was made for PC. Sunken Village. Oh, I'm some kind of glowing man. This is cool. Okay, yeah, so I've got these platforms that are like made out of like Tetris shapes or things like Tetris shapes. Press the right stick to slide a platform. Oh, what? Okay. Got it. Okay, so this one. Oh, so weird. Okay. I wasn't sure what I expected. Okay, that one stops there. Oh my gosh. This is the slide puzzle game that I've been dreaming of. Okay, so what I need is... I can't go off the edge. I need something that's only too high to fit into this slot. Which means I need to... Let's see, what do I need to do? I think I need to come around this way. I love the water effect, by the way. Like, it's got this 2D look to it, but it... Yeah. This is the one I need to be riding in. There we go. Oh, RB to attack, huh? Okay. Oh, a note. Light attacks in fast succession chain into one another. That's actually one of the, You see that kind of comment in instructions in the game all the time. It feels like such a discoverable thing. I'm surprised people say it out loud. So one thing I can't do is move until my attack animation is complete. Like if I queue up a few attacks, well, actually one, yeah, okay, yeah. So if I'm just holding my my stick going the same direction for a while, and then I attack, I stop, and I can't continue on until the attack is done. That's going to be important how combat plays out. Well, good. I'm glad the guy only takes one hit. Jedi Cytric says, what a neat looking game. Yeah, I agree. Charging the attack increases the weapon damage and often triggers the weapon's special ability. Charging it? So what is charge? How do I charge it? I already read this note, right? Okay, so yeah. I'm trying to hold down the right bumper and it doesn't do anything. How do you charge an attack? Experiment with different weapons. Charging the attack. What does that mean if it doesn't mean holding the button down? Oh, I've got the X button switches between different weapons. So I've got that spear, but I've also got a sword. And I push X to switch between them. It's funny how they told me using different weapons is a good idea, but didn't tell me the button to switch them. Oh, wait, no, the button is written up there. And... oh, RT is also an attack button. And maybe I can charge that one. Ah, okay. So it's so funny. They've told me so many things that felt discoverable, but didn't point out what the buttons did. Okay, so the thing I don't want to do is fight these guys all at once. So I'm going to charge up an attack and blast through that dude. And then similarly, charge up an attack, blast through that guy, and charge up another attack, and blast through him. This entire level, I don't think I've stepped on a solid piece of ground yet. The entire level is made out of these things. I'm certain Gantley has gone mad. Can't he see that there's nothing here to rule over except diseased water and bloated corpses? Yeah, what is this place exactly anyway? So apparently red ribbons mean story notes and blue ribbons mean tutorial notes? Maybe? Oh, Jedi Sectrix is curious because this ribbon had 2 different messages on it. She's wondering if there's a second message on this one. Hitting enemies with changed attacks increases damage on each successive hit and often triggers special abilities. Okay. That's so funny. They have this fairly important tutorial on the note. The thing they don't have is a tutorial telling me to read the note multiple times. Be at the right time to parry. What is the right time? Figure it out. Oh, I am so used to the X button being the attack button in games like this that I keep being surprised. Okay, so let's go with this. And let's parry this guy. Parry the heck out of this dude. There we go. Ooh, I can roll. There we go. Take that. Ooh, I have leveled up. Press menu to open inventory, which is menu. This is menu. Okay. So I've got an available point. 1 available point to spend on my stuff. Health. Damage. Attack and movement speed. Dexterity-based weapons. Which ones are dexterity-based? Scaling strength. 0.6. Scaling dexterity 0.4? What does that mean? Okay, so this one is all dexterity. This one is mostly strength, but also some dexterity. So if I raise dexterity, I should probably use the spear more. So light attack damages only the first enemy it hits. Oh, right, because you're poking people. You could potentially poke through multiple people. It says that's not going to work. And then enter defensive posture. Oh, sorry, I'm reading a part of the UI that you can't see because it's behind my head. Enter defensive posture while defending block the portion of the incoming damage and subtract the rest from mana. Is that different from the sword? Interesting. So they've got different defense rules, different invisibility. What? I've got an invisibility spell? Where is that? Okay, let's... Let's go with dexterity. I like being quick. Oh, but I can see the effects. Ooh, okay, so the sword and the spear do different amounts of damage. If I raise my dexterity, they both go up. The spear goes up by slightly more. If I raise my strength, only the sword goes up, and it goes up by more than the dexterity did. My speed also goes up very slightly. I think I'm going to go dexterity this time, but I'm probably going to want to invest in strength later on too. Okay, so do I just leave now? Is it now permanent? Yes, okay, once I leave, it's permanent. I actually kind of appreciate them not making me confirm my decisions as I left. Having trouble parrying. Increasing endurance prolongs your parry window as well as increases your poise. If your poise is higher than the one of your opponent, you can interrupt their actions and even stagger them. Okay. So let's poke stuff. Get poked. Nope. Each weapon is unique. You can enter defensive posture with the spear you're wielding now. While defending, the damage you receive is reduced and first subtracted from your mana. Hold the parry button to enter that posture. Okay, so I can do a little parry, but I can also hold it for defensive posture, which means I take less damage. Hello, sir. Oh, that hurt. This doesn't seem like a guy that I should be using defensive posture with. This seems like a guy I should be dodging. Yeah, I took significant damage from that. That was not something for defensive posture. D-pad up to heal. Oh, you know what? They wanted me to get hurt. Okay, so I just used the one potion that I had. I wonder how replenishable potions are. Okay, so here we've got a problem, which is a huge platform full of enemies. But is there a way? No, okay. I was about to say, can I pull a platform away from that group? I think I can't, but maybe we'll get a couple on here. Oops. Yeah, maybe I can, like, carefully control how many enemies I'm fighting at once. Oh. Ah! That's poison. It's weird having the right... So, there's some games where the right stick is your dodge button, and I'm actually kind of weirded out by the fact that I use the right stick to move, but not to dodge. Because I just keep by... Like, I've got this impulse to use the right stick to try to dodge like I'm playing God of War. But no, that's the A button. All right. So that's interesting that I can use... Oh, hi. Oh, he hit me that time. Yay! Something. I got something. So it says LB. It's connected. It looks like it's connected to my invisibility. I'm wondering... Maybe next encounter I should try to use invisibility. I don't know what this money's for. I assume something awesome. What a weird way to get around in a video game. Again, that was me trying to dodge with the right stick. It's weird. It's like, apparently, there's a part of my brain that just remembers that God of War used the right stick that way. And so because I'm using the right stick to move, it just kicks in that assumption that I should be using it to dodge. Oh, dang. Okay, my health is not great. Ah, that's not the button. Attention, my loyal subjects. From this day forth, all your coin and provisions must be turned over to my crew. You'll all get your share, but this is just a little reminder of who's really in charge around here. All right, cool. Let's... Oh, there's a chest over here. Chest. Fetid rags. So I've got a righteous collar, and I can switch them for fetid rags. Okay, so it soothes the mind. My mind is fine. It looks like you have to actually decide whether to wear them. And there's no just keeping them for later. That's kind of a surprise. Oh! Ah, hi! Okay, that went badly. I was attempting to parry, but I parried too early, and I think I missed the window. So now what? I'm lying here, and I can talk. This is the end of your story, but it doesn't have to be. Embrace death, and together we will write a new tale. This will only take a moment. All right. Whew. All right. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I never tried invisibility. I just... Oh, wait. Okay, so that was a tutorial area. Oh, now... Is this the real game now? Look, I've got solid ground for the first time. Hello, sir. Madam? Freya. Don't think you're special just because Iphis chose you. You're not her first ward, and you won't be her last. Sure enough, you're immortal now, but dying still hurts like hell. So go on, harvest some knowledge like a good little pet. Shall we do business? We shall not. Who are you? Iphis! This sanctuary's become cold and lonely. The others helped me bring balance to the keep. Even the bard and his wretched songs. I long to see them all again. Bring me any artifacts you find, and through them we can alter the world we awaken in next. There we go. That's the final one. Okay. I guess maybe I'm going up these stairs? Hello, sir. Are you a talkable person? It's Soap! It's Soap McTavish from Modern Warfare. My, you're looking pretty well for someone who just died. I'm guessing she patched you up right as rain, eh? Well, you're part of this cycle now, so you might as well enjoy it. Let's make your death a little more fun. I'm a bit of an alchemist myself, you see. If you entrust me your potions for a bit, I can double them for you. I'm a bit of... Oh. Okay. He says I can entrust my potions to him. Invest potions. So I give him one of my potions. So if I go out with less potions this time, that means that I can go out with more potions next time? What an odd way for things to work. Okay, so we've got a sunken village here. Oh, gosh! Well, I screwed that up good. I started... Ooh, infantry axe. What's this? Oh, okay. So it does 6 damage. More knockback. So it's like the sword, but better. Let's do sword, but better. Yeah, sword. Hey, get on here. Yes! So I started trying to use the X button to try to hit people, which is not how this game works. And it turns out, playing a game not the way it works is not very effective. Ow, dang it. Not quick enough. All right. I'm gonna use a potion. Oh, looks like that potion healed me a lot. Oh, get away. Oh, I thought I hit the button. I must have hit the button. I don't know. Yeah, I thought I hit the button on that guy, but I didn't hit him. Well, I eventually hit him. Oh, wait. What's this? Oh, here we are in Loot River, not able to reach our loot. So there isn't a way to get this thing out of here. Is there a way to get it? Huh. So it seems like in order to get at that chest, I would somehow need to get a narrower platform in here. And this down here is a narrower platform. But I don't know how to... Oh, I can walk diagonally across stuff. That's cool. So I can, like, put it here. It feels like I could put it, like, in the middle of this platform even. But there's even smaller ones here, too. But, like, the only way to get this one out of the way is to move it up here, and then I can't get back down again. How odd. Oh, hey, so John Bon Zombie just showed up and said that he made a Happy Birthday to State of Decay 2 video. I'll have to check it out later. Thank you for pointing that out, and thanks for being excited about our game. So Rosenberg wants to know if I'm enjoying Loot River so far. I am fascinated by Loot River so far. I'm having some trouble getting used to the control scheme. I keep making wrong assumptions and hitting wrong buttons. It feels like this game was originally made for PC. So it could just be that they struggled to translate the controls to this controller. Got a Traveler's Blade here. It does less damage than other stuff. Mostly a dexterity weapon. Yeah, let's swap it out for the spear. And it comes with a knockback spell. I still have not used a spell. Let's try a spell. Oh gosh, what are you? Let's not try a spell. Oh no, let's try it. Yes. Oh, there we go. Knocked him silly. Haha! Alright, so I can come down. I can't go to the left here, can I? No? Oh, here we go. Oh, and now I've put this in a stupid place. Oh, okay, look what I have to do now. I gotta go all the way back here. Now that I know that the answer means coming around this way, I've got to go all the way back, bring this down, get this sucker out of the way, get back on here, scoot it all the way back up again, move this over here, move this over here, get on this, ride it all the way back down again, Take it around this one. Up here. Over here. Murder some dudes. Take some damage and open the chest. Fetid rags! I don't care about your fetid rags. Have you noticed? They're fetid. I don't want them if they're fetid. All right, back we go. Let's head this way. Oh, gosh. Ah! You guys got ranged attacks. What the heck? What? I thought I got you. Yes, level 2. All right, so if I... Yeah, so both of these things are pretty responsive to dexterity. I like that. We'll do that. So Coalition says, I wonder if there's going to be a level where you can get stuck, like permanently stuck. So I suspect not, because everything you can do in this game is reversible so far. Like, I haven't seen any one-way moves in these puzzles. Which means that I can just always do the opposite of whatever I did and get back and reset the puzzle. Now, depending on how complex what I did was, it might not be easy to reset the puzzle. All right. Nope. Ah, dang it. I was trying to get away from that, but I was locked in the middle of an attack. So I definitely prefer brawler-type games that let me interrupt with dodges at will. Like, I like watching for input from the enemy, and when I see something that's dangerous, I can dodge and get out of it. Like, that's the way I prefer to play. And so games where, like, you can get locked into an attack animation and not be able to dodge don't play well with my sensibilities. Haha. Haha. Step right up, one at a time. Oh, two at a time. Oh, two at a time, huh? I'm not even bothering to defend myself, which is probably a bad decision. These enemies are getting a little tougher. There are so freaking many. Okay, let's grab this guy. Ow! I like how the clouds don't move, so I can actually, like, jog this to the side to get out of cloud range. Okay, I really need to, like, watch these guys' attacks and try to dodge them or something. So as long as I'm not attacking, I can dodge pretty readily. It is so fun to have that kind of control over the level, where you're like, nope, I'm only dealing with a few of these guys at once. Take that, and also that. There's still so many of them. Haha. Haha. Oh. Some of them still hit me. Well, yeah, the way that these guys can sort of swarm you and make it difficult to get away, my ability to sort of mete out how many of them can attack me at any given time is pretty essential to my success. Oh, wow, they found a way through. Crap. Okay, potion. Okay, I'm out of potions now, and I don't know if there's even a way to replenish potions in this game. Oh, that was, again, me using the right stick to try to get away from something, which is not how anything works. All right, open. Okay, I've collected some crap. Let's level ourselves up here. So if we add strength, that has significantly more damage. If we add endurance, that increases my critical damage for some reason, but only on one of my weapons. It increases my poise. It doesn't increase my hit points, so that's vitality. Oh, wow. Oh, just one vitality increase has a pretty significant benefit. I should remember that. Wow, okay. I should probably grab vitality first next time. I like that it proportionally increases my current health in addition to my max health. There's lots of different ways you could do this. You could have the, you can have the health reset when you upgrade your vitality. You could have both your current and your max health go up by 60. But instead they're having their max health go up by 60, which is a little under 2/3 of 100. And they're having your current health go up by, what is that, 23? Which is a little under 2/3 of 37. Yeah, so let's go with that health. Mostly just because I have very little left and no potions. Dang, did not escape that in time. I'm bad at this. All right. I probably don't actually have to attack all these people. This might actually be a bad decision. Heh. Oh, back to the artisan spear. I don't want that. I've already had that. Rejected it. I have heard that the developers responded to some criticism where basically people were like, hey, this game's called Loot River, but there's not a lot of loot in it. Because, like, I'm finding the same stuff, It's not like this is Borderlands or something like that, where it's just like you're just finding an endless array of different items. And so I think they might have even said, like, something about how they intend to add more loot to the game at some point. Whew. Barely hanging on here. I really should have been dead already, the way I'm playing. Whew. Oh, there's a chest. Undefended chest full of blue stuff, and I don't know what it is. Is that mana? What is that? I'm not paying attention to things like mana. Okay, there's some guys down there who are probably going to kill me. So, I want to avoid them. All right. This thing is locked in. Interesting. Oh, wait, I can move diagonally. That's right. But why would I want to fight that guy? I don't want to fight that guy. He seems dangerous, and he's not defending any loot. Oh, look at that. I don't need to fight you guys either. I want to fight you, just because you seem helpless. Oh, what's this? Ah! All right. Good to know. Does fire spread? Yes! Yes, fire spreads! Here, take that, buddy! Oh no! Oh no! Are you gonna be on fire? Oh, you poor guy! We gotta sit here and watch. Oh, he's burning! He's burning! Oh, and then it's still usable. Oh, he didn't burn to death? Oh, I am disappointed. I am so disappointed that that did not work. Oh, like a dagger to my heart. Oh, okay, hold on. Need to move that, and then that. Then this, and then that, and then here we go. Slide puzzle. Slide puzzle skills for the win. Oh. Granite Heart said, ouch, my ears. Was the fire too loud or was I too loud? Oh, dang it. For some reason, one of my attacks missed that guy. One that seemed like it should have worked. And there's the Sword of the Guilty again. Come here. Oh, gosh, no! So that thing doesn't stick around in space. That thing lands on the platform. Okay, cool. All right, so now I'm back here. So what now? Hey, Iphis. You have seen them, have you not? The fattened, mindless gluttons that roam the keep? They are legion, the fusion of lives once lived. Bound to the relic, they cannot die, and yet they cannot live. We have to set them free. Bring me any artifacts you find, and through them, we can alter the world we awaken in next. Okay. This is kind of neat and simple that you have to hit the Y button multiple times to get through a discussion, but the fact that you can't tell the difference between someone who's done talking to you and is just going to repeat their last line and someone who is not done and has more to say is going to bug me, because that means that every single conversation I have with someone is going to end with them repeating their last line when I get to the end of it. Part of me really wants there to be some indicator on, like, the last piece of dialogue. What is that? Huh, neat. Some indicator on the last piece of dialogue that this is the last one and I shouldn't push the button again. Hey there, buddy. You kicked the bucket, eh? Did you have the talk yet? Shatter the relic, free the peasants, all that? Relic is bound to the first one, and it... wait. Whatever you said. So we start there. It's the least the likes of us can do after all. I'm a bit of an alchemist myself, you see? Entrust me your potions. Okay, so I entrusted him with my potions. But I didn't get anything out of that. So I'm not doing it this time, you jerk. So here we are. So now the question is, has this been rearranged? I think it has. Yeah, I think this is... Oh, whoops. I think this is a different layout. Here's the Traveler's Blade. Right, I grabbed that one last time and I didn't really use it. Let's try using it this time. Dang it, didn't get away in time. So it doesn't do as much damage, I think, but maybe it would be quicker or something? I don't know. I do like my little spinny move that I'm doing. But yeah, so I wonder, like, is this all procedurally generated? Or, like, are there just... What are you... Come back! Or are there, like, presets? Like, is this just one of many versions of the Sunken Village? I don't know why I'm fighting this dude. I guess experience. I guess it's good to fight dudes to get experience. So, Coalition wants to know, in State of Decay 2, is it possible for some facilities to have 2 facility mod spaces? Theoretically, yes, the system does support that. We decided not to do it for the sake of simplicity, but that's just a content decision. It's not a, it's not an intrinsic part of the game. Like it's totally possible. I'm gonna do that for fun. It's totally possible to set one up to have multiple slots. Though, actually, it occurred to me, I don't know if we've ever set it up so that the UI can show a second facility slot. That might be a limitation. Like, we might have to redo that part of the UI in order to show you that there's a facility slot. So yeah, it might be harder than I thought, actually. So here's a weird thing. Can I... Ah, there we go. Oh, but I can't... There. Okay. That's what I needed to do. So these puzzles are kind of fun. And the thing is, like, it feels like, I mean, this can't be extremely procedurally generated, right? Because these navigation puzzles, I mean, there is definitely a way to make them evaluatable by a computer. So the computer can figure out if they work, which means you could procedurally generate them because you know, the computer could generate a particular layout and then interesting. Could generate a particular layout and then evaluate that layout. Vitality ring? Absolutely. And then evaluate the layout to see if it works. Oh wait, that's not what I want to do. So I can move that down now. And now I can get up to here and move this one across. So yeah, so it's like, this feels very hand-designed by a player. It's not impossible for a computer to come up with stuff like this, but reliably having it be good and entertaining would be very difficult. So I imagine these layouts must have been designed by a player. I mean, by a player, sorry, by a designer. Why did I say player? That's weird. I imagine this was probably designed by a designer, but maybe they string them together differently in different patterns. I don't know. I also don't know that I want to get into this fight. Hi! Let's try my other sword again. Anyone else? Haha, there we go. What about you? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so when you're fighting a crowd like that, the sword is good because you can hit multiple enemies at once with a single sweep, and that's what makes the spear kind of limited, because it can only hit one enemy at a time, because you're poking instead of slashing. Though in real life, I mean, even if you were slashing with a real sword, you can't really hit two enemies with the same strike. Not the way you do in video games, anyway. Maybe if you were swinging like a big hammer and you could knock one person into another person. Maybe. But yeah, the whole like, oh, if you've got a big sword, you can hit multiple people at once is kind of a video game thing. It's not really a real life thing. Alright, let's see here. Oh, so, Reneth Cord points out that maybe the thing with investing my potions is that I have to actually, like, complete something in order to get the investment back. I could totally see that being the case. Like, I give him one of my potions, then if I win, I get an additional potion. But because I've never won, that's why I'm not seeing that benefit. I could totally see that being the case. Ooh, strength ring. Okay, I'm not doing a very good job of dodging these idiots. So yeah, I will wear yet another ring. And there's a lot of guys with big old hammers. So usually I can get 2 hits. Oh, gosh! Usually I can get 2 hits in on these guys before I have to dodge away. So I gotta remember that. If I go for the 3rd hit, I'm just asking to be murdered. All right, let's see. So I need something narrow to fit down this hole, so I need this one. It's so bizarre to be combining brawler skills with slide puzzle skills. It's just weird. I like the idea. Like, I'm fascinated by the fact that somebody had this idea and then did it. Because, you know, having weird ideas, I mean, designers have weird ideas all the time. Somebody had an idea and took it all the way to fruition. Which, that's the rare thing you don't see all the time. No more fire. Fire traps were never placed in Sunken Village. This is a modifier. Ooh, have I picked this up, like, for a future playthrough? Oops, there's a chest. Dexterity ring. Sure, absolutely. So does that mean... Yeah, I've got... Oh, I forgot I leveled up, too. Oh, I leveled up twice. What the heck? No, I didn't. I'm going back and forth. Never mind. I thought I had upgraded it 2 times, but no. Okay, let's go for more... No, wait. Let's go for more vitality this time. Vitality makes a big difference. Yikes. Especially if you just insist on getting your butt beat all the time, like I do. Well, this is just a bunch of guys I don't want to fight. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to try to parry. Nope. Parry again. Nope, too late. Parry. There we go. Okay, parries are possible. They're difficult, especially against those guys. So, okay, so now I'm back to a place I've been before, I think, because there's no fog of war, right? It's easy to get a little bit lost here. Okay, that guy feels like he's asking to be parried. Okay, so parrying a little early is actually better than parrying a little bit late. Like, that actually worked better. I am screwed. There we go. I'm dead. Whew. So, Goonbuggy asks, have you seen Have a Nice Death? That sounds familiar. I can't remember what that is. Hey there, Iphis. Ah, you passed again, yet here you are, huh? Souls bound to the relic cannot die anymore. We just move on. Wake up in a world similar to ours, yet littered with differences everywhere. I can help you navigate those worlds, and together, one by one, we'll cleanse them of the relic's influence. Okay, so her theory, like the way this works, is apparently, ooh, bones or maggots? Can't tell. Apparently, these are like, we're in a multiverse where I'm dying in one place and then going to another place that's similar. That's fascinating. And I guess I'm like freeing souls when I'm murdering people. That works. I think we've kind of got the idea of roughly how this game works. I feel like I would need to get further, maybe beat an entire level to really understand the structure of this game. I don't think I'm good enough at this game to do that right now. I get partly just because it's like it's playing against a lot of my habits. A lot of my habits assume the game should work a different way. I assume I should be able to interrupt my attacks with dodges and stuff like that. And so I'm having trouble just making much progress at getting better at the combat because my habits are all just so deeply ingrained in something that is counterproductive in this game. So I don't see myself in this session getting good enough to beat an entire level and see more about the structure of the game. But I think we've kind of demonstrated how, first of all, how neat this game looks. I mean, we've got this sort of, 2D pixelated look to it, but it's actually, I mean, we've got these lighting effects, we've got the ripple effects in the water, we got stuff going on in this game that you could not do with an older, with older technology. I am petting the chickens. Okay, so Goombuggy asked me about Have a Nice Death, and I was like, I don't know, that sounds familiar, huh? Meanwhile, Jedi Psytrix found a video of me playing Have a Nice Death. Apparently, I played it. I mean, like I said, it sounded familiar, so I guess I did. That's great. Anyway, okay, so I think I'm gonna quit right now because I am just not good enough to really show much more of this game. But I am fascinated by this. I love the fact that, like, right after, in some previous game, I think it was when I was playing Patrick's Parabox, I was talking about my slide puzzle skills that I honed for years when I was taking piano lessons, and that was my only diversion while I was waiting for my sister to have her lessons. That I immediately went and played a game that was all about using my slide puzzle skills. Like, that's pretty funny. Oh, Dead Cells meets Hollow Knight was what I called it. So Have a Nice Death was that side-scrolling roguelike, like, platformy hitting people game where you play as Death in an over-corporatized Death world, and you're, like, trying to take your life back as Death, something like that. Okay, yes, I do remember that game. Thank you for reminding me which one it was. I guess the title didn't stick with me that well, but my memory of the game does. But yeah, so this does feel like it's kind of in a similar zone for me, where it's like, I can see how this roguelike is neat. That's pretty cool. The combat doesn't play perfectly with my habits, and therefore it's going to be difficult and frustrating for me to get good enough at it to progress, which is tough. I mean, because yeah, there's definitely, Tunic is a little closer to the way that I work, though it had some stuff that didn't quite work with me. It was a little bit closer. It was within the bubble where I felt like I could get good enough at it, especially once I got the teleport ability. I felt like I could get good enough at it that I could function. And it's interesting sort of trying to find the zone of games that really that you, as whatever your personal sort of habits are playing playing these kinds of games, like which ones you sort of jive with and which ones you don't, and so this is one where it's a little off for me, but that doesn't mean that the game is bad. And that's the thing. I think that too many people equate what their wavelength harmonizes with a game being good or bad. Like there are people who will look at, say, somebody who's, say, an Overwatch player, which is a very sort of like a high time to kill shooter, and they'll play a game like Call of Duty, and they'll be like, this game is bad because you die too fast, and games where you don't die that fast are better. And I'm like, I personally really like Call of Duty, and I like that it's got a fast time to kill, and I don't really work very well in games like Overwatch. And so it's not really like a, your personal taste makes a game good or bad. It's just, you got to find the set of games that are on your wavelength. And so for me, Tunic was mostly on my wavelength. There are other brawlers that are much more on my wavelength. Like the early God of War games, for instance, are sort of where I sort of honed my particular sort of comfort zone in the genre. Games prior to God of War, like things like Devil May Cry, I wasn't ever able to get good at, and I thought I just don't like the brawler genre. No, I just needed a particular kind of brawler that fit with sort of my assumptions and my habits. And so when I found God of War, I found it. I sort of even dug my rut even deeper, and now that's the kind of game that I like to play. But I can still recognize, that style of gameplay doesn't work with games like, say, Elden Ring. Obviously, that doesn't mean that Elden Ring is bad. It means that Elden Ring is a game that a lot of other people are able to enjoy because they're on a different wavelength from me and their assumptions are different from mine. And they might enjoy Loot River a lot more. So it's interesting. So I'm just going to stretch my back a little bit, and then we are going to wrap up this video. So there is a subscribe button. Here's some links to some other games, and you should go click those if you like watching me talk about games I'm bad at.